Hey, how's it been going everyone? Welcome to my channel. Today I am trying to make a different type of video leaving my usual content. For the last 1 month I was reading manhwas a lot. So here I am going to tell you guys some of my experience about manhwas and top 10 amazing manhwa with overpowered main character that I read so far. So now let's begin. To be true, before this 1 month, I did not knew what a manhwa is and why many people like this stuff. I asked myself why they like to read those things. So I decided to give it a try. And when I first decided to read, you would not believe the story was so good that I did not able to leave. I kept going and read all the chapters. So if you did not read manhwas before, I am advising you, as like me, please give it a try. I assure you, you will not regret it. And if you also a cool manhwa lover, I am in your team. If you have some suggestion that you want me to try, please comment right below. So please give this video a like, and if you want yet to subscribe, then subscribe. So now let's move on to our top 10 manhwas. Starting our list, we have number 10, Seoul Station Druid. It have 18 chapters. The life was getting boring until one day from nowhere the portal that can teleport others three different planets as their point of view started to appear. But our MC Park Shuho on the same day get teleported to a fourth unknown planet with jungles and many different of bizarre beasts. Suho for 1 year spent just thinking how can he survive there. Before that day, when he's saving a wolf pup, get the chance to be a part of them. 500 years also get passed when he become the wolf king. As the time passes, they fought many battles, and during one of the battles with the gorilla race, Suo again teleported to his home planet. But the time here is slower than the planet where Suo spent almost 1,000 years. It's just 10 years after he get teleported there. So after hearing his story, no one want to believe it's true. That's why he get the lowest F rank Awakener ID card. And leaving that, he did not even hesitate to show his skill to others. Though it's not have much chapter now, but I think it will be a great model to read. So list up in number 9 we have Mercenary Enrollment. It have 49 chapters. This story is about a boy named Iwajin. Iwajin is the sole survivor of a plane crash when he was little. He was then forced to raised as a mercenary. If you don't know what a mercenary means, mercenary sometimes means soldier of fortune. Their identity is top secret. So spending 10 years with the toughest training and many battles, he became the deadliest mercenary there. And thus he returned to his family in his hometown by the help of the normal soldier. His family is only has his grandfather and his little sister. Then our MC get admitted in the same school where his little sister goes. Then later he discovered that his sister is being bullied, so he beat them to protect her. And other than that, it also have many awesome scenes. The MC's skill is also shown pretty nicely. The art is so good. Side characters are also well drawn. And for the story, I loved it. You should definitely give it a try. In number 8 we have Reincarnation of the Suicidal Battle God. It have 14 chapters. Because of the demons, the mankind is in the blink of an extinguish. The only last survivor of the mankind is our main character Zafar, the strongest human. At last he challenged the Demon King, but it's end up by his defeat, or you can call it his death. But the story did not end there. He gets the chance to live again and try to defeat the Demon King by some disgusting god for their fun. But a chance is a chance, so he reincarnated to his past where he was just a minor. With the knowledge of his previous life, how Zephyr would gain his power back and even surpass it. It is an interesting manhwa, don't you think? Next up in number 7, Return of the Frozen Player. It has 46 chapters. 5 years after the world changes, the final boss, aka the first queen, appears. If one can defeat her, the life will go back to normal. As this mindset, the top 5 players in the world, including Spectre Seo Jun-ho, go to fight her, and our MC able to defeat her, but they fell into a deep slumber in the ice. 25 years passed after that. The second floor would appear after defeating the first queen. The life did not change as they think it would be. And one day Spectre woke up from his slumber. He heard everything and decided to hiding his identity he will start from the beginning. And that time he also found out that he gained the abilities of the first queen. The story is so good to give it a try. So in number 6, Return of the 8th class magician. It have 30 chapters. A place where magicians are treated as nobles and their power are considered as their class. The more the class number is, the more powerful the magician is. And there A magician named Ian Fetch, who is considered as the 8th class magician, is the strongest of all of them. But he gets betrayed by his old friend, the former king Ragnar, who poisoned him and left him behind for die. But neither he knew Ian used a dagger that has time magic spell embedded on it to stab his own heart, and he came back to his 30 years past old self body. His real body did die there, but his memory came back 30 years past. So now, how will our MC will take revenge on Ragnar, and how will he repent his past life mistake in his second chance? The story and the art both are pretty good. So in number 5 we have Tomb Raider King. It have 253 chapters. In the year 2025, Tomb appeared all over the world, and within these tombs were things known as relics. These relics were perceived to hold enormous power. They had the power to grant various defined abilities, and because of that, stories of how people's lives changed after they acquired these relics spread throughout many different places. That's why our MC CEO Ju Hyun joined a big corporate named TKBM to end his shabby life, but it did not end up like the way that he think it would be. He get betrayed by his boss and end up in a dying situation. But he get lucky at the last moment a secret core relic came which have many powers help CEO by teleporting his memory to his past self. When the tomb are just starting to appear, CEO from then on started to collect all the relics and taking revenge on them who betrayed him. The story have a lot of interesting thing. You can definitely try it. In number 4, The Constellation That Returned from Hell. It has 42 chapters. The Abyss, a place where countless constellations and monsters lurk, a land of infinite chaos. Those who are called Constellation were the closest being of what humanity thought of gods. They brought the gift of blessing and increased their followers. As more souls believe in them, a constellation authority would also grow. To the constellation who invaded each other's territories and stole their followers in the abyss, Earth, the home of 10 billion souls, was like a mountain of gold for them, and among them exist those who sought to control Earth throughout force instead of blessing. Throughout there, one man named Choi Young-seung who despite his life to get powerful by only using martial arts, and eventually one day he gets the chance to make a contract with an inexperienced constellation. He immediately agreed, and so the constellation takes Choi to her domain in the abyss. But because of a mana storm, the domain gets broke and Choi gets lost in the infinite abyss. Choi, thinking that it's just a part of his training, he wandered through the abyss thousands of years, training, defeating many monsters and even constellations. And one day he finally gets the path to return on Earth. This is a comedy and cool fighting type manhwa. The art is pretty good. I really recommend you to read this. Next up in number 3, the tutorial tower of advanced player. It has 74 chapters. In here, our MC Hyunu Kim is a first generation hunter who entered the tutorial tower which has 100 difficult floors. Completing the floors, he did not able to get out from there because of a curse. He tried everything to get out from there. Eventually, 12 years has passed. He completed the floors is around 1350 times and finally able to leave the floor. In this time, he becomes so overpowered that no one can easily defeat him. After some chapters, we also see that the earth is also a floor of a big tutorial tower, and Hainu has become its guardian. The story in some part are quite funny. You will love to read this. So in number 2 we have The Beginning After the End. It have 120 chapters. King Gray, the name which is feared by many people, the strongest swordsman from his time, who died due to some reasons, but he get reincarnated another planet where magic and magical beasts are common. King Grey would Arthur, who have his memory of his previous life, get an interest on it from his childhood and started to learn magic and practice his swordsmanship. In by many interesting plots, Arthur get very overpowered and even earn a position of a professor in the best magic academy and even more other things. It's a great manga, you should definitely give it a try. So at last in number 1 we have Solo Leveling. It have 166 chapters. If you read mangas before, I know you did heard of Solo Leveling before. This manga is one of the fan favorite mangas of all time. And if you don't know, for a little information, this story is about a boy named Sang Jin-woo. He was a hunter who was so weak that he did get injured every time he went into a dungeon gate. But his life changes after that day when entering into a gate with his party. Many of them die, and who survived left him behind. But Jin Woo believed himself for the last breath, and as a reward for that, he get a leveling system in him. By that, he started to get very powerful every day by day, and eventually he gets super overpower in a short time. That's it. I'm not want to spoil a lot of things. You should check it out for yourself. So that's it. All these manhwa which is mentioned in this video are all of my favorite. I read all these manhwas and I can tell you that all those are pretty good. You will love to read this. So for now, okay then, see ya. Bye bye.